everyone knew that there was going to be a backlash to the Carmelo Anthony situation. When I say the Carmelo Anthony situation, I'm talking about hundreds and hundreds of donations to a kid that took the life of another kid, and many, many donations from people who were simply celebrating the fact that a white individual was no longer with us. Some of them clearly trolling, many of them very obviously from a part of the community that very clearly does not like white folks and celebrated Austin Metcalf's passing. Well, 2 days ago, roughly, a white woman was on at the park with her kid, and another kid, a Somalian kid, I think. I'm not totally sure. The guy filming her, harassing her was Somali. A brown kid had been rummaging through their stuff, allegedly stealing things. And so the mother lashed out and referred to the child with a word she deemed appropriate at the time. And look, people can say what they want. I don't have an issue. If people want to say certain things, people want to, she had every right to say how she felt at that time. It might not have been the word I would have chosen, but I think we cannot ignore the extreme levels of black fatigue going on across America right now. I'm going to talk about it very candidly. Black fatigue is a term that usually had referred to, fatigue black folks felt from the pressures and, all these issues going on in their lives for being black. But now it's being spread, it's being repurposed as a term that is being, referencing a general malaise within the white community, that they feel other communities, the black community in this case, are not being held accountable for their actions, live by a different set of rules, which is playing out every day in court. And this woman, for speaking her mind, has been doxxed, harassed. People have called CPS on her child and have, been attacking her, sending her threats. And so the community has risen up and said, this isn't okay. And she has now raised $320,000 and rising with a goal of $1 million. This is going to, make no mistake about it, this story is going to explode. And we're going to get into how exactly we got here. I want to thank everybody, by the way. The story I've said is true. I sent far too many gift boxes to Amazon. I've made them $10 off, and I desperately need your help. Mother's Day's next week. They're $10 off on Amazon. It comes with our delicious blueberry cobbler, our Colombian roast, honey sticks, yogurt-covered pretzels, and our wildly popular chocolate-covered espresso beans. I need your help. I have 4,000 left to sell. We sold 350 yesterday, which is amazing. Even if you don't need to get a gift for Mother's Day, this is still a great sampler pack of all of our offerings. I am asking, hoping, praying that you will help me out by picking one up. And then when you get it, coming back and leaving a review, write a customer review as a verified customer. Definitely really, really need your help. My entire company's at risk if I don't move these. I made a huge mistake. My mistake is your benefit, and I'm hoping you will. Now, I don't know if I need to show the original video. Essentially, this is a mom whose kid was playing on her playground. She got harassed by some Somali guy who allegedly is a bit of a creep, and for calling this kid. Maybe I should just show it. Essentially, this guy puts a camera in her face and says, hey, did you call that kid the N-word? She 100% unapologetically said, I called him what he is. What are you going to do about it? And I respect that. Not that she called this kid this name, but that she wouldn't be tone police. She wouldn't be bullied by this individual. And now the NAACP is getting involved. People have doxed her. Her GoFundMe says this. My name is Shiloh, and I've been put into a very dire situation. I recently had a kid steal from my 18-month-old son's diaper bag at the park. I called the kid out for what he was. Another man, who we recently found out had a history with law enforcement, proceeded to record me and follow my car. He then posted these videos online, which has caused my family, myself, great turmoil. My social security number has been leaked. My address, phone number have been given out freely. My family members are being attacked. My eldest child may not even be able to go back to school. Even where I exercise has been exposed. I'm asking your help in assistance in protecting my family. I fear that we must relocate. I have 2 small children who do not deserve this. We've been threatened to the extreme by people online. Anything will help. We cannot and will not live in fear. This is the Karmelo Anthony effect. Karmelo Anthony raised $500,000 essentially on the premise that many black folks were happy to give money to celebrate the passing of a white kid. That is how I feel. Now, not every single person involved in this, not every single person that donated felt that way, but there were hundreds of them in the comment section. Internet comments all over the place saying the kid got what he deserved. And that kid didn't even use the magic word. The crime was he was white and he happened to be around someone who had very low impulse control and was armed. Now we have the Rochester police are now actively looking into Shiloh Hendricks, and the local NAACP are calling for charges. Now, this is where I no longer care that she said the N-word. First of all, we have the First Amendment in this country. You can agree or disagree with what she said, but she has a right to say these things. White folks are called all sorts of heinous stuff from black folks every single day. Nobody's getting sued for that. It is not a crime to call somebody the N-word. It is not a crime to hate somebody. It is not a crime to speak of that hate. Hate speech is not a thing in America. Now, Democrats want it to be. Kamala Harris want it to be. But what charges exactly would they be filing? Here's a news clip.
Is reaching out to law enforcement in the wake of a video going viral on social media that was reportedly recorded in Rochester, and many of our viewers have contacted us about it. There's a video circulating on multiple social media platforms that was reportedly recorded at a park in Rochester. The video shows a woman holding a small child making racist slurs in reference to another child at the playground who she claims had taken something that belonged.
By the way, nothing illegal about that. Also, does not entitle black folks to dox you, harass you, attack you, put their hands on you, call CPS. For too long, this word, I mean, it's a magic word. There is not a single word on earth that you could utter to me that would make me react in the way that black folks react to this word. And I would argue that we are hundreds of years removed from slavery. And I believe that a lot of folks take that usage of the word as a free pass to do whatever they want. I'm going to cover this story later, but a black man working at a Dunkin' Donuts killed an elderly white man for daring to utter the word. Took his life. By the way, he was only sentenced to 2 years house arrest for that. That's what people are sick of. That's what people are sick of. White people being put at the bottom of the barrel in terms of jobs, being disparaged, these crimes against white folks being celebrated by other communities. People are sick of that. I mean, this is a sensitive topic, but people have, I think white guilt probably died on May 1st.
Belongs to her child. The person recording the video alludes to the child being targeted as having special needs.
Obviously, this mom didn't know the kid had special needs. And again, even if the kid had special needs and she wanted to call him the R word, that's not illegal. That does not entitle people to break the law or harass her or attack her or anything.
KTTC does not own the rights to this video, nor are we choosing to identify anyone until more information comes to light. We can now confirm Rochester police have received multiple calls about the video and are actively looking into the matter.
What would police be looking into? What exactly would the police be looking into here? If anything, I would say the police probably need to look into the harassment this woman is facing. The fact that people are calling Child Protective Services on her. The fact that this Somali man followed her.
The Rochester branch of the NAACP released a statement today about the video, saying it is outraged and deeply disturbed by the incident.
I could pull you up 1,000 videos of black people saying disparaging words about white people. They're just words. Life is about how you react to things. You know, if the black person had reacted like a normal person and not tried to ruin this woman's life, that is the word has no power. The black community is the one giving that word power in their actions, their outrage, their grifting. Wait till this fundraiser comes up for this kid, right? Where they raise out, you know, that word, the N-word, has no power. No word has any power. Black folks are the ones giving it power. And they're the ones alone who can remove the power of that word.
Saying in part, quote, "We call on the City of Rochester Police Department, the City of Rochester's City Attorney's Office, and Olmsted County Attorney's Office to launch a full investigation and to file all appropriate charges."
Again, what charge? What charge? You're allowed to say that word. You know, black folks are allowed to walk around and say mayo monkey or cracker or whatever they want. They're allowed to call each other that word. Enough with the protected classes. This goes for Jewish people and for black people and whatever community it is. This is what white people are sick of, is a protected class. Now, of course, there are members of the Jewish community, there are members of the black community that agree, you know, they don't want any special treatment. But our government, we need not look any further. Again, you think I was kidding? I'm covering this in a totally separate video, but an elderly man lost his life because he said the N-word, and that guy was given 2 years house arrest. 2 years on house arrest after taking the life of a 77-year-old man over a word. That is what white people are sick of. That's what these people are. That's what the people donating to Shiloh are sick of. Of course, black media is like, white woman raises $200K after calling black kid the N-word. Woman cashes out after hurling racial slur in child park. White tears are profitable again. She really came up from this, close to $200K for calling the kid the N-word. Now, this is obviously a disingenuous interpretation of the case. She did not raise $200,000 for saying the N-word. She raised $200,000 because she received harassment. People called CPS. People called the cops on her. People doxed her. That's why she received the money, not because she said the N-word. If she received the N-word, you know that scene? You know that's if you get $200,000 for saying the N-word, sign me up for that sandwich board that Bruce Willis wore in, I think, the third Die Hard movie. Everybody is misinterpreting this. Man says, "Did you call the child the N-word?" She says, "Yeah, if he acts like one, he took my son's stuff." So that gives you the right to call the child the N-word. If he's going to act like it, that's what he gets, is what she said. No shame, just bold racism on the Jungle Gym. Now sis showed up on Give, Send, Go, crying white tears and calling herself a victim. So this exact article is being racist towards white people, right? Like this article is saying, oh, it's white tears. White people have everything going their way. Blah, blah, blah. Ask Karmelo Anthony how much of that $550,000 he raised came from people who are just happy to give him the money because, you know, he took out a white person. White people are sick of this, and this is a manifestation of that. I hope this is where it stays. I think $320,000 is probably enough at this point. But, you know, certainly she's going to move out of that neighborhood, I would assume. And I'm just sick of the race grift. Now, I would argue this. If I were the government and I wanted to sow the seeds of a race war, this is kind of exactly what I would do. How much of Karmelo's money came from government NGOs? How much of this money came from government NGOs? You know, I'm fine with her. You know, there was a tweet that I thought was absolutely spot on from Shaniqua posting delusions. A few years ago, this woman would probably be appalled at the idea of using the slurs. Today she drops the hard R on camera without giving one single F. I don't think libs realize how radicalized the average suburban white mom has become. Yeah, I mean, these Somalis in Minnesota are a whole nother thing. And it's going to be interesting to see how this shakes out, because I strongly suspect that this is going to spiral. Let me know what you think in the comments, and please do help bail me out. I need to move 350 of these today. Look, if I sell out of these, I'll shave my head. Like, literally. I'm not even trying to make money. I just need to move them. So even if you don't need a gift for Mother's Day, it's a great sampler platter of all of our Coffee Brand coffee stuff. It's $10 off, free overnight shipping. And please remember, once you get it, to scroll back, click on Write a Custom Review as a verified buyer, and leave a review. We only have 150 of them, and 600 people have bought. So I definitely need folks to pick it up.